Hello, my people. All right, I'm on my way to go get the kids from school, and I thought that I would talk about something that I feel like is a really important topic for people that are about to get divorced, or if you're freshly divorced. And that topic is routines with your children. Most people, when they're married, they have an established routine already where the husband has his responsibilities that he deals with and the wife has responsibilities that she deals with. And when a divorce happens, those routines shift dramatically. They need to shift. They have to shift. And that's if we're talking about a parent who didn't usually spend a lot of time with the kids while the other spouse was at home with the kids or doing most things with the kids, to now having single parent time with your children that you never had before. And a lot of times there's the after school routines that, and I'm going to speak generally, okay, I know it's not always like this, but that the mothers did with the children that the fathers never really had much to do with, or even a clue with what happened at home. There's the afternoon routines, and a lot of times there's the morning routines as well. And then the evening time, usually the dads would come home from work and they'd spend the last couple hours awake time of their children's awake time with them. And so they got to do, maybe dinner, but sometimes after dinner. And then a lot of times it's just fun time with the kids, and it's play some games or watch TV or a movie with the kids, and then time for bed. And that's easy, and it was fun, and a lot of times us dads got to be the fun parent because that's the stuff we did. Not to discount the hard work and the responsibility of providing for the family, so not discounting any of that, but we're talking about a realistic change that is now going to happen once you get divorced, and that is routines with the children, and just being with them during the certain times of the day that you didn't used to be, and having the responsibilities with the kids that you didn't used to have. So let's talk about those. If your kids are school age and it's the school year, during the school year, then you've got school routines you've got to work around. To work out, and you've got morning routines, how the morning goes, getting them ready for school, making sure they're going to be ready on time, getting them to a bus stop, or just getting them out the door if they're walking or riding bikes, or to the bus stop, or you are now taking them to school, making sure that you've got the kids ready, but also making sure that they've got their backpacks, they've got their homework with them, they've got anything that they're needing to get with them to school. So again, stuff that you probably didn't have a lot of influence in or a lot of experience in before while you were married. Now that becomes important. Okay, we're talking, did they brush their teeth that morning? Did they put on new underwear that morning? Did they either shower the night before or shower that morning so that they're clean? If you've got preteen or teenage kids, it's really quick that they get stinky. So we're talking daily showers, or at least every other day if they're that age, or if they're, their potential for stinking is high. If they're involved in sports at all, or if they play outside at all, then yes, they're going to stink and they need a shower. So did that happen before school? When they woke up, did they get their teeth brushed? Did they get fed, or are they eating food at school? Okay, that's something you're going to have to figure out. And then, is their backpack ready with the things that they need for school that day? Homework that's due, or a laptop if they have, a lot of schools are doing Chromebooks now at school for their learning, but they need to bring them. papers, pencils, whatever it is. There's a lot of times sign-up sheets, reading logs that need to be signed, things like that your kids need to bring to school. Now, if you've got all those ready, cool, then they're ready to go to school that day, right? So you get them off to school. A lot of times that's when now you will have a chance to maybe go to the gym or get some work done, depending on what you got going on. But that, maybe 5 hours, 6 hours to while they're at school before you've got to get them or before they come home, that's the time that you get to dedicate to you. So then let's say school's out, time for them to come home. What are they going to do when they get home? I will tell you, first thing kids always want to do when they get home, they drop their backpacks on a couch and they walk straight to the kitchen because they're starving. So kids often need an afternoon snack. So that's something you're going to have to prepare for in your shopping, is make sure that the kids are going to have whatever snacks it is after school, depending on what time they get home from school, however long it needs to hold them over until dinner time, right? So a lot of times kids are getting off at 3:30, getting home 3:30, 4 o'clock, something like that. What snacks do you want to have for them? Do you want them to have, and it's your choice, your call, right? You can have cereal and bowls and spoons and whatever ready for them so they can just grab a bowl of cereal. You can have fruit, so apples, vegetables, carrots. Kids love snacks that are sweet. They love snacks that are sugary. They love snacks that are easy and quick. So whatever your habits are, this is going to be a good time to impart them onto the kids. When the kids get home, are they going to have a quick corn dog, or are they going to have an apple? Are they going to have celery with peanut butter? Are they going to have a juice box? Is there juice or just water? What are you going to have in the home ready for them when they snack? Is it going to be an open pantry and they can just get whatever they want? Or are you going to want to regulate that? I'm telling you, kids thrive on structure. So having some kind of a structure set up for them, whether it's this is the food that's available for you, you guys can have this, or you don't have to have anything. Or you say you've got snack time until 4:15. After that, pantry closes, kitchen closes, and nothing else. If you forgot to get something, then too bad, and you'll be fine. You'll survive until dinner. Or do you have things prepared for them when they get home? Do you have a platter of vegetables and fruit, or cheese and crackers, little meat slices and crackers? Again, celery, peanut butter, sandwich. You have bread. You have stuff like that out for them, so that they just know there's no question. Boom, got this. They can do it, and then it's done. Those are ideas to think about for you. After they get their snack, I promise you, they're going to be a lot better off and ready to do whatever they might have to do responsibility-wise, which might be homework or chores or both. So after they get home, if you've already got chores assigned to them, then great. It's time to get working on those chores. I'm telling you, the best thing for kids, and I've done this for a long time as a single parent. And I'm talking, I co-parented for 18 years. My oldest just moved out of the house last year, and his mom and I split when he was an infant. So I literally did this for 18 years. But the kids will do better if they get home, get a snack, get right on their homework, make sure homework's done. If they've got homework due tomorrow, that's top priority. And then after their homework's done, chores, whatever their chores are for the day, boom, have them do the chores. Once that's done, guess what? It's playtime. It's fun time for the kids. Now they get to go outside. They get to play with friends. They get to shoot hoops. They get to play games with their siblings or with you. They get to go out to a movie with the family if you have that planned. You guys, make sure that that routine happens every single day, every school day. Come home, let them have a snack, even if it's just like one of those little chips. Kids just, whether it helps them in their bellies only, or whether it helps them in their bellies or emotionally, they feel a million times better, and they're ready to go the rest of the day once they get that snack. Get them that snack, let them have that snack, get them on their homework, get them to do their chores, and then bam, you've got the rest of the night, the rest of the evening together, or letting them do their whatever their free time, fun time is. So that's the biggest routine that I can impart in you, is the morning routine, then the afternoon routine, which will set up the evening routine. And the evenings are going to go the best if all the morning routine and afternoon routine stuff was done. Okay? So then we get to the evening routines. All right. As you can imagine, if it's a school day, part of the evening routine is making sure backpack is ready, homework's done, and papers are in a folder. A lot of times the kids have a folder that they need to take to school. So folder's ready, homework's in there. If they had any reading logs that they needed completed, they've completed those, and the parent has signed whatever forms they need to sign for that, permission slips, anything, you name it. Backpack's ready, okay? Make sure the kids know where their shoes are and where their coats are, things like that, as part of the nightly routine, to just make sure that their rooms are cleaned, everything's put away where it belongs, because then again, you're going to be setting yourself up for the morning routine to just be so much quicker and smoother. Okay, so get their backpacks and school ready for the next day, or for school. Shoes are put away, jackets are put away, everything's put away so that it's quicker to be found in the morning, okay? And then we got to make sure we brush teeth. Kids naturally are not going to do that unless their parents have got them in the habit of doing it. So brushing teeth, flossing teeth, kids need to floss. Everybody needs to floss. If you're not going to do it twice a day, you're going to do it once a day. Do it in the evening and do it before you brush. Have the kids brush or floss their teeth first, getting all that junk out from the day, and then they brush their teeth, and then they rinse that all out, and they're good to go. Now, if you do the mouthwash, if that's something you subscribe to, great. That's cool. Have it be part of that evening routine. And then if once they've done that, they're in their pajamas. If you are the religious type, it's a really good time. I've done this personally with my kids. This is how I know it works well. But if you're the type that likes to read scriptures and say prayers, doing that before bedtime together is a beautiful part of the routine that you can instill with your kids, because then it's structured. If they look forward to that every night, they know that's the time to wind down. They know that we're going to learn about Christ or God. We're going to learn about, commandments, family, the importance of family, all these things that can be found in the scriptures. That's a time for you to bond with your kids. It's a time for you to, read a passage of scripture and then talk about it with them to find out, their thoughts on it, or why does that seem like it would be important to you? And it gives them a chance to learn about it and decide what's important to them as well. So I would recommend something like that if you're a religious person, to make sure that that's part of an evening routine for your kids. And then a lot of parents will let the kids, once they go to bed, they will let them listen to music or, listen to an audiobook or something. I let my kids read on their little Kindles. If they can't find their Kindle, or if it's dead, then they've got a book. I've got a little flashlight that fits in their bed. It's like a little round flashlight, almost like a ball, with a magnetic back on it, so it can just magnetize to their metal bed frame. But they can turn that light on and read, or if they've got their Kindles, they can read for a little bit. It helps their minds stay sharp. Reading is very good obviously for intelligence levels, but then it also just helps them wind down. It gets them calmed down, gets their bodies and their minds ready to go to sleep. So that's the way that I usually handle my evening routines. Now there's, stuff that will come up every single day, every night, every morning, every afternoon. There will be a million things that come up that could get in the way of, everything going so smooth, and that's okay. If there's one thing that I can tell you, that as a single parent, there's going to be plenty of opportunities to feel like you are failing, or like you're really struggling with this, or that you suck at it. I'm telling you, you're doing better than you think, okay? Do not let those speed bumps, do not let those things that get in the way, that make it look like you're not being perfect at it, do not let those tear you down, because you're doing better than you think. And the reality is the kids don't need perfection from you at all. What they need is you to be present with them. They need you to be there. They need to just know that they're loved. If they feel your love, if they see your love, if you're there for them, any chance, all the times that you get to be there for them or with them, they're going to feel loved, and they're going to turn out just fine. Okay? We cannot control what the kids do at the other parent's house. If you've got a good co-parenting relationship with the other parent, then you guys can coordinate these routines, and maybe bedtimes can be planned for the same time. You can work with them. Not everybody has that luxury or that desire, so just don't worry about what's happening at the other kids too much, at the other kid's house. But at your house, control what you can control. Give yourself grace and space for things to not go perfectly all the time, but then also give yourself kudos, because you're trying, because you're doing your best, because you're doing better. This is something that I've also learned over time. When you are intentional with just a few things, like a morning, afternoon, and night routine, when you're intentional with that, and you are, for the most part, doing that every day, you're giving the kids a great life, because you're teaching them responsibility and accountability. Okay, I do a really cool thing in my house, where we have a chart that tracks all the morning routine things, like making your bed, doing your hair, brushing your teeth, saying your prayers, reading scriptures. Those are morning routine stuff that I make sure my kids do. They all have little star values assigned to each thing. So as they accomplish everything, it gives them, 1 or 2 stars, or whatever it is for each item that they complete in their routine. Chores have a star value as well. So, if they read for 20 minutes in Spanish, they all are in Spanish classes at school. And so part of their daily homework is to read 20 minutes in Spanish. If they do it, they get 2 stars. If they're doing their turn for the dishes, they get 2 stars or 3 stars or 1 star, whatever their chore is. And I'm telling you, I've got my kids asking every day for extra chores so they can get extra stars, because those stars all can be redeemed for prizes, rewards. And we're talking rewards like movie night with dad, alone, at the house, just me and one child. We're talking ice cream trip with dad, ice cream or shake date. We've got, outfit or dress shopping or shoe shopping, depending on which child wants that. And that one's got a ton of star value. It takes them a while to earn that, but that's something that they can save up for. One-on-one time with dad, or, play disc golf with dad, or an extra piece of candy, or a king-size candy bar, or, you name it. I've got a list of 5 to 10 different rewards that they can work towards. And the kids love it. And again, it gives space for them to grow responsibly, maturely. They can take on responsibilities and be rewarded for being responsible and successful with fulfilling their responsibilities. So that's something that I do. And it's kind of a recent thing too. I haven't been doing that forever, but as a parent, you're going to find out what works for you. As long as you care, keep trying, right? Just keep trying. And something's going to work. Some things are going to work better than others. But getting in a routine for your kids is going to be the best bet to helping them be successful and to make really good use of your time. There's a lot of talk that I've heard in the past about, and not with my situation, but just in general because I'm in the industry, a lot of talk about how unfair it is for one parent to just get weekends and the other parent to have all the weekdays, right? And a lot of times it's the dads that get shafted on the time and they only get the weekends. And trust me, it's not like that's all we want, but that's all we get. And you know what? That it is true. Like, we are missing out as a parent if we're only going to be a weekend parent. We're missing out on being able to help our kids with all those responsibilities during the week. The opportunities that they have to be responsible, to do their chores, to do their homework, to make sure that they are being accountable and being responsible, all those things. And so trust me, as a parent, you do not want to be just a weekend parent. All it is fun for the kids. All it is fun for you. The kids are going to realize that as they get older, and they're going to form their opinions of you. Your ex is going to have her opinions of the situation. The courts are going to have their opinions of the situation. But as a parent, I know I want to be involved in all the parts of their lives. And I will do it as much as I possibly can. So if I'm going to get, 2 days a week with them, I don't want it to always be on the weekend. I'll alternate if needed so that I've got some weekdays so that I can make sure I'm helping with the kids' schoolwork. And also it helps me be in the loop of what's going on in their school. And, it kind of sucks as a parent when you're not really in the know of all the things they have going on and you hear about it after the fact. That's a crappy thing, because if a lot of times, if the courts allow, you want to be a part of it. You're going to want to be a part of it. So give yourself a chance. Be involved with the kids as much as you can, even during the week. Okay. My kids' school, I imagine this is happening all across the board. Most schools have an app now that the kids and the parents can log into, and the school is constantly putting out, flyers and, posting about whatever's going on with school, calendar events, things that are going on in the school, so that you as a parent can know what's going on. Less papers are coming home that are explaining certain things, and more things are being put on the apps. So get yourself a login to those apps. Make sure you're plugged into the things that are going on. Even if you don't have the parenting time with the kids, that's something that you can be plugged in to and know what's going on with them. And then you can have, you can know what kinds of things to ask your kids about. How did it go? Hey, I know that you had this on Wednesday. I couldn't be there, but tell me how it went. How was it? And you can ask them questions, and you can be a part of the excitement of it still, so that, as the kids keep getting older and growing up, they won't just think that you weren't involved or that you were only a weekend parent. They will know that you were a part of things that were going on in their school as well. Okay, so whatever time you got with your kids, I very much subscribe to the idea that kids thrive with structure and routine. So get yourself a routine that you can practice with the kids, see how it goes, adjust things as needed. The other thing that I didn't mention was making sure kids go to bed on time. That's something that you might more likely are used to them going to bed at a certain time. You've probably been around for it. But making sure the kids go to bed at a certain time, making sure that they wake up at a certain time so that, the routines can happen. And you guys, there's so many more things that we can talk about, and I would love to talk about different things to help you in your single parent journey. But this is a really important one, and I hope that this was helpful for you. There's other routines we can talk about too, like weekend routines. Is there a change that is going to happen with the routine? Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to get backpacks ready for school, Friday night for school on Saturday, but can you have them get it ready for Monday? Absolutely. So do you do that Friday night or do you do that Sunday night? Your choice. It's up to you. It doesn't matter, right? But as long as it happens, okay? Do whatever works best, but make sure it happens. Saturday, is there sports games? Is there more activities that you can go do, like hiking, taking the kids out to the park? One of my favorite things that I learned as a single parent that kids love and that's easy to do is to take kids to the library. The kids love it. And I'm telling you, that just relieved so much pressure off of me once I realized I can take my kids to the library. It's free. You might have a $1 or $15, whatever, $10 for a library card to be able to check stuff out. But you don't even need to do that. Take your kids to the library, plan for like an hour, even 2 hours. The kids will make good use of that time. And you can read a book, the kids can read a book, you can do puzzles there. They usually have little games, things that you guys can do together. But it gets the kids out of the house, gets them into an environment where they might be able to see other kids, make friends with them, but they can let their creativity go. They can read, they can draw, like I said, puzzles. There's all kinds of stuff. So that's like a little parenting hack that once I learned, it took so much pressure off of me of like, how do I keep my kids entertained? What kind of structure can I do? What kind of, where can I take them? What can I do so that they feel like they had fun today and they weren't just sitting at home getting bored or whatever? Take your kids to the library. Find the local library. Make good use of it. The kids will love it. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. If you've got any questions, let me know. And send me a message. Send me an email. Shoot me a text. If you want to work out or if you want to work with me individually, based on whatever stuff you've got going on in your life, then please reach out and let me know. I'd love to meet with you and we can chat about what that looks like and see if it's a good fit. But otherwise, I hope that this was helpful for you. Share this with anybody else that might benefit from this. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.